Hi, welcome back to the Good as Gold Coffee YouTube channel. I'm Mike, and today we're going to be creating the recipes in our Azkoyen S1 brewer to make cafe quality cappuccinos, lattes, chocolate, and you'll have the framework on how to calibrate your machine to make other beverages. This is an important step because in the US, there's a lot of poor quality ingredients. Ingredients are key, whether it's your coffee or the powders that you're using. And a lot of coffee services and vending companies, they tend to use powders that have corn syrup solids and sugar and a lot of ingredients as part of it. Some of it's not even milk, and it gives an artificial taste as well as creates issues in your machine with clogging. We recognize this is a problem. There are some good powders, but we found a product out of Spain called Laqtia, and they're one of the world leaders in soluble milk and cocoa. And in this, there's just one ingredient, and that's milk. The other thing that separates them from any other company that we found is something called agglomeration. And that's the granule size of the powder. We have not found another powder that has a larger granule size than Laqtia. And what that does is, one, it helps dissolve in your mixing bowls much easier and flows through your machine, and that really cuts down on service. And because it's also a European dairy, so taste-wise, there's no growth hormones, there's no additives, and we find it really translate into a high quality milk that is indistinguishable from liquid milk. We have to adjust all the machines, whether it's this Azkoyen as a manufacturer or another brand, because of all the poor quality powders in the market. A lot of the manufacturers create recipes that do not give the proper gram throws of the powders to make high quality beverages. They're trying to create a recipe as your stock recipes where your machine won't clog, but you really can make a cafe quality beverages when you use high quality beverages and use their programming to adjust the recipes. So we're going to go into that today. So with all Azkoyen brewers, they have a program called Configurator. So whoever you're purchasing or you purchased your machine from, if you're working with Azkoyen or you're a coffee vendor, there is a program that allows you to connect your laptop to the machine. So I already, through USB, connected a cord to the back left of the machine, and I'm on my laptop. The first thing I want to do is connect the cord, and we're going to download the stock recipes from the machine to the configurator. First thing I'm going to do, in order to download the recipes, you have to be in the programming menu. I'm going to use their configuration. It reads all the recipes. Now, hit validate. You're going to go to edit, coffee services, and this is all the recipes that make up your machine. Now, I've already adjusted mine, but what's going to happen is you're going to get the stock recipes. And for espresso, as a rule of thumb, the Azkoyen brewer will go up to 14 grams. We like to make our espressos using 13 grams of coffee. And then what you're just doing is you're adjusting the coffee either more or less. The reason we do 13 is because it makes a great great crema, tastes awesome, and if it has a maximum of 14 grams, you don't want to go over that, or you can start, or getting close to it, you can be jamming your brew mechanism. Essentially, you're telling, the recipe is how many seconds the grinder should run, how much water should also run. So if you want a short espresso, I would take the blue down. If you want a taller espresso, you would take the blue up. We're not going to go into exactly the technicalities, but it's something that is worth learning from either your vendor or Azkoyen. And then you can keep scrolling through the different recipes, whether it's an Americano, a mocha, the timing of it. In our mochas, we like to do the espresso first, followed by chocolate, milk, and then another drop of chocolate. And what that's essentially doing is it's doing coffee first, and then the computer is telling, I'm going to do so much chocolate, then so much milk, and it's going to mix in the mixing bowl. If you were going to make a glass of milk and turn this product into a liquid milk, you would use 23 grams of milk powder for 7 ounces of water. So on a 10-ounce cappuccino, it's very much the same. You're using 6 or 7 ounces of water and 2 ounces of espresso. So we're looking to get approximately 23 to 25 grams of milk powder. If you do a little bit more milk powder, you're going to get a little bit richer flavor. In our cocoa beverages, we try to get 45 grams of cocoa. And that's truly what you're supposed to get. A lot of the machines, when they come to us, the recipes call for 25, 30, 35% less gram throws of powder. So what ends up happening is we get a lot of calls from people that whether it's Azkoyen or another machine, that their product isn't tasting strong enough and they don't know what to do. And we recommend the Laqtia and adjusting the recipes, and you're going to get cafe quality beverages. Once you adjust the different recipes and the gram throws, now it's time to load up the powders into the machine, and you're ready to go. The other nice thing is we work with customers individually, that if a customer wants it a little stronger or a little milder, we can create that recipe, save it, and then with Azkoyen being such a simple system, if the customer ever got another machine or another location, or we had to change out the machine, it's as simple as uploading the recipe that we created through USB to that machine. It makes it very convenient. But the biggest tip I can say to making great beverages is use good quality powders and adjusting for the proper gram throws. So it's really, can't stress enough how important it is to get the configurator program for Azkoyen and start playing around with the recipes. If you want to know how many grams are coming out, once you do a recipe, you can take off the chute, and the same way I did a grinder calibration, I'll put a cup underneath and weigh the powder to make sure that recipe is getting the proper gram throws. But that is critical in making a good tasting beverage. So we're gonna make a cappuccino. Oh, first thing you want to do also is make sure that the mixing bowl is snapped all the way in. A lot of our customers, after cleaning it, you want to make sure both sides are pushed in, and that you don't forget to turn down the chutes, or you'll be cleaning up a mess. We can actually leave it open so you can see how the milk flows through the chute. What you also want to look for is that at the end of the milk cycle, you have some clear water coming through. That ensures that all the milk is getting dissolved and you don't have any residual powder left in the mixing bowl. That's also what causes clogging. And this is a 10-ounce cappuccino. You can see how amazing the froth is and how thick it is. That's a great recipe. If you look at this milk powder, you can see how coarse it is. A lot of the milk powders on the market are very fine, almost like powder, and that's something that you want to avoid. The other thing that you'll notice is that it has a yellowish hue. That is the real color of milk. When you see milk powder that's white, that's very white, it's actually been bleached white. So this is a non-bleached product. It's a healthier product. So we're gonna load up our milk powder. This machine holds a whole bag. This is a 1-pound bag. And you can see, if you zoom in, it is one ingredient, skim milk, nothing else.